I know we've been gone for like 2 weeks. Lina was on vacation,
I mean,
right?
technically it was 3 because I think at one point, yeah, we didn't have an episode. I mean, I was gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice. Lina's back and we're back.
Yes.
To our regularly scheduled programming?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
How
was your time off?
It was good.
Good. What did you do?
Me and Raya went on a couple-day trip to New York.
That's nice. They had a New York minute.
Yes, we did. We did have a New York minute. It was good. It was hot though, but we had a couple good days. Yeah,
that's good. That's what's important.
We had fun. Yeah, and I took her to
bonding time.
Yes, we left the guys at home.
But isn't it nice to have like a little girls trip?
It was nice, and like I said, we had a couple of days that was really
hot.
The weather was amazing.
The
first day was really hot, and then later on we got a break. But what I did do is I took her to do the Statue of Liberty tour.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
And I was this close to skipping Ellis Island.
Okay.
Because we were tired.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she's like, no, I really want to go. I'm like, okay. So we went, and then I ended up searching up my family's name, and I found my grandfather.
See, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you didn't skip Ellis Island.
No, and it was so cool, and she loved it, and she was just like, and they had the balad he's from, Elvira, and like because you can do the search online without actually being there. But when you do it online, you don't get like the full access.
Yeah.
So I was kind of suspicious it was him because all of the names kind of fit, but they had put him as Yusuf, his first name, instead of Musa. Okay, and I guess they had flipped it because there's a lot of people who talk about the names, getting messed up, whatever. And the way I confirmed that it was him, because they had his wife's name too.
That's amazing.
That name is very specific.
Yeah.
I knew for sure it was him. And then just like Raya was so happy.
And where did they say he was from?
Elvira.
And where is that?
Palestine. Yeah.
I just like wanted to pause there really quickly. And
they said Palestine.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And Raya was like taking videos of it. And then you have to pay to get this access. So we paid. And then I wanted to print it. And then I called the lady.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. I called the lady and she was like, listen, let me save you some money. Once you pay for it, because we paid the original fee, she's like, now that you're in, you can download this, you can download the images, and you can print them on your own dime, like wherever you want to print them.
Okay, that's amazing.
So she's like, don't pay for this. Yeah. She's like, don't tell anyone I told you that.
That's a real real one right there.
I'm like, are you sure? She's like, I'm positive. She's like, the fact that you paid
literally, she's a real one.
She's a real one. But Raya was just so happy. She's like, yeah, and they keep saying Palestine doesn't exist.
So, you know what? Honestly, you know why I love this story? Because for so many different reasons. One, it confirms that, at some point in time, regardless of what anybody wants to say, that the state existed, Palestine existed. I mean, it still exists. But it's amazing for me that that's how it's documented, right?
Yeah.
Two, it shows you like how. It shows you like immigration to America, but it also shows you like how like what a wonderful and like integral part of like American society we actually are.
Exactly.
Like, it's so great to be able to trace back and say like, this is when my family got here.
I know. I looked for my other grandfather because he also came, my mom's dad, and I couldn't find it because the last name I guess is more like common.
Yeah.
And I forgot, like, what I was telling my brother, he's like, did you try this other name? I'm like, oh my God, it totally slipped my mind.
So can you, now that you have full access, can you do that research online without being there?
You can do, like, they let you research online without being there, but you won't get unless you pay, I think you have to be there to get the full access, like all the documents,
That's amazing. But I love that.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, when we were there, we were so tired because we got up early. I'm like, I don't want to deal with the traffic because like once after a certain time, like I didn't want to deal with it. So we were tired, and she was so hyped after that. Yeah. She was like, I'm excited. Like, let's do stuff now. Like, I don't want to go back to the hotel room. Like, she was so happy about it. But I mean,
think about how cool it must be for her.
Yeah.
Because think about it like this. She knows her parents, and she knows her paternal grandparents and her maternal grandmother. I don't know if she remembers your dad or not. She might have been too young.
No, my dad passed away when they were like a year and a half. Yeah.
So it's
No, it was a big. She was super excited.
I just think it's the coolest thing ever.
It is.
For her. I mean, think about it. Like, if I was 15, that would be like such a cool
and we
thing
actually did we went like because they kept the place as it was, and she just like that was one part. She said, "This is way better than the statue." She's like, "Okay, yeah, we saw the Statue of Liberty from the boat." So she's
I love
like,
that.
I didn't care.
I'm so happy that she got to experience that.
We went through the whole process that they do. Like, once you arrive, like they kept it. Like, they do their best to keep it in its original, the way it was.
I love that.
But yeah, she
that has to be
loved
the
it.
coolest part of the whole trip.
Yeah, she
and
really
what a cool
liked
bonding
that.
moment for the two of you guys. Like what a cool thing to experience together, because it's not like you experienced that before either.
No, because like I've been to the Statue of Liberty, but I always like, who cares, Ellis Island?
Yeah.
But like I didn't, like when you're younger, like I did it. I was really young when like maybe in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I never, but I'm like, okay, whatever. And then like now,
you realize what you just said?
What?
You were really young in your early 20s.
I'm old. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Every single episode, you got to point that out. Anyway, whatever. But like when you're in your 20s, you don't think about these, right?
You really don't. But I love that you guys had this like moment together.
Yes, and I'll show you the video. She was so happy. She was so excited.
Oh my God, please insert a little clip. Because,
I
in all honesty, guys, Lina sent me a video and said I found my grandfather's name on, at Ellis Island. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so unbelievably cool. I just didn't know like the details. Like I'm finding out the details now.
Yeah. It was great. And then we did a Broadway show.
Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't do musicals. I don't do musicals either. I'm not a fan, but we did the Harry Potter one.
That's cool.
And she was definitely,
she loved it.
She definitely
good. That's great. Yeah. Like how great is it? Like that is a real New York minute right there.
We had a good time.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing, and it's wonderful. I'm so glad that you guys did it as like a girls' trip.
Yes, we kept the guys back home.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they wanted to do anything anyway, so it's fine. It's and
they had
honestly,
their own thing going.
Yeah, it's so nice to be able to do that. I think with any of your kids, if you just do like an adult and one of your kids, and you do like a trip where you bond and you have an experience together, like I think that's so awesome.
Yeah. No,
good for you for doing that.
It was good. And then I had a week after that to just be at home.
That's awesome too.
I think I told you like I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. But I think that's something
I needed that. And also like, with everything that's happening in Gaza, the starvation, I'm just like, I've been feeling really, really down.
Yeah.
And like before we started filming, I didn't even want to talk about the trip.
Yeah.
And my
but
vacation.
I'm like, but I also think like, look, it's very, very, very difficult to witness a genocide live streamed every single day for the last 2 years. And there is like zero action on behalf of like people who have the power to make a change, right? Mm-hmm. It's very, very hard to see that. Part of my brain can kind of figure that part out and understand that like there are not like governments suck and it's hard and there's a lot of politics at stake. What the part that my brain is having a really hard time processing is like human being to human being. How are you okay with this? Like, because nobody is okay. None of us are okay.
No, none of us are okay.
Like I watched this. So I saw this thing on social media and like, it made me cry. And I saw these videos of kids sitting on the beach on the beach in Sinai, on the Red Sea, and Egyptian. These are the Egyptians who live in Sinai, like Arabs in Sina, filling up bottles of waters halfway with lentils and with rice and putting notes and throwing them into the waters in hopes that they would reach the people in Gaza. And in my mind, I'm like, these are kids and they have more empathy and more humanity than a lot of like grown-ups that I know. And the interesting part is I also saw videos. I can't confirm. I don't know if they're of people finding in Gaza these bottles.
Yeah, but that thing, like it's interesting because you mentioned this. For me, when I see that, yes, obviously your average citizen.
I'm so disappointed.
No, but your average Arab citizen is gonna be with Palestine, obviously. Like when we criticize the Arab regimes and we criticize the Arab governments, right? Because they are complicit in this. Okay, let's be real. But for me, when I see that, the first thing that comes to my mind is like, wow, are we this like as like Arab leaders? Are they this pathetic that their own people have to resort to something like this? Why can't they move? Why can't they act?
But that's what really I said in the beginning, a part of my brain, Lina, it's like I don't even look at it like that. I'm completely different because I like when it comes to governments, because I look at governments political dealings in general, politics in general. To be part of that, you have to lose a part of your soul.
I understand.
So
but like
I don't have any expectation. I don't. But the part of me is as a human being.
We don't have expectations, obviously, because they've sold their soul to the devil. Whatever. Okay, I understand it. But like, why are I get it and I appreciate, your average person trying to help. But at the end of the day, it's like, why are we here? Why are we here? Why after 2 years?
Do you want me to give you like a lesson in history, or do you want me to like give you
it's just
a dose of
like
reality
for me,
as
like
to why
people say,
we're here?
that's so nice, and for me, my first reaction is like, no, it's not. Oh, it's so
it's
nice.
not.
It's
I think
upsetting.
It's
disappointing.
I think what you missed is I said watching that is disappointing.
Yeah.
I am first of all watching that those small children that are doing that, like I said, they have more empathy and kindness than a lot of people in the universe, like in the world.
But I've saw people who weren't adults also doing it. So it wasn't just children.
Kids and adults. The people who are doing this, that's because they're human beings. As a human being, you cannot, as a decent human being, you cannot watch another human suffer and do nothing about it. That is within your power. That's what's within their power, right? It's also disappointing to witness that this is what it's come to.
Yeah.
That this is the solution.
Yeah.
You know? There's a lot of things that are happening right now that every day I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. But then a part of me really, and it's funny, I was having a conversation with two friends last night, specifically about this. One friend who's like, she's really struggling. And she's like, I'm having a hard time even saying this out loud, but she's like, I'm losing my faith. And it's so hard for somebody to say that out loud.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
I have people.
I always say, look, when faced with difficulty and with strife, with ibtila, with a trial and tribulation, right? You either really lean into your faith or you really lean away from your faith. It's very hard to kind of find that middle ground. And I feel like what's happening in Gaza and what's happening across Palestine is really making people pause and look, and you either say, you know what, I plan and you plan, and Allah is the best of planners, and really lean into the fact that Allah has a plan. God has a plan. I don't know it. You don't know it.
God has a plan.
Yeah, I don't know it and you don't know it. The other half of people or the other group of people are just like, okay, like this is I'm sorry, my brain can't like process this, and I don't know what this plan is, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but God has a plan. But also God we're not just robots. Okay,
no,
God has a plan. If we can do something, we need to do something.
But I'm going to tell you
the fact that I feel like people use this as a crutch. God has a plan. Ala aini wa rasi. I'm a believer. Alhamdulillah, I have faith. Okay, and I understand that God has a plan.
But I think you should also be.
People, let me finish. I think a lot of people. Oh, khalas, this is what Allah wants. No, get off your ass and do as do something. Try to do. I know a lot of people aren't capable. Like they're limited. I understand that, but like we can't just say God has a plan. Okay, God has a plan. We know that.
But you have to absolutely begin with I plan, you plan, and Allah is the best of planners. And then,
but we can't just sit on our asses.
No, but what do you want people to do? What do you want people to do? You are privileged where you live, that you have a voice. Other people don't have that privilege.
Do we really have a voice? Does anyone? Because like I feel, I think everybody. I think like what's happening in Palestine, what's happening in Gaza. I think this is showing the world, like these leaders, these corrupt leaders, whether in the Arab world or anywhere all over the world, the Western world, anywhere, it's showing them that if this is allowed to happen here, then we can get away with it somewhere else. Okay, this is not just a Palestinian issue.
I think what people also don't realize is that this is not just happening to Palestinians.
No, of course
not. This is happening to the people in Sudan, to the people in the 100%. Congo. And the difference is, you know what the difference is between like what's happening in Palestine, what's happening in Sudan?
What?
There's an internet blackout in Sudan.
Yeah.
There's no citizen journalism in Sudan.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's happening, and nobody knows the sheer amount of people who. Do you know that we have a friend who has a relative who passed away in Sudan, and she was dead in her house for 3 weeks before anybody knew.
Oh my God.
3 weeks before anybody knew. So and it's not she died. Let me rephrase that. She was murdered in her house in Khartoum, and nobody knew for 3 weeks, and nobody could get to her once they found out. There's no proper, it took time to do a proper burial. So it's bad everywhere. And what I'm saying is that when you see stuff like this, so like the situation in Gaza is like really terrible. It really is. And I try, there are days when I'm like, oh my God, I can't watch this. And the other days, a part of me feels so bad. I'm like, I have to watch this. I need to know what's happening. I need to share. I can't because this is the only thing I can do is I can share.
I think the worst thing we can do is turn away.
Absolutely.
Bring awareness. Like this is why, like I was, when we were going to do, like I came in here dragging my feet in today. And I told you that, like, I had no desire to do any podcast episode, to do anything, because like inside of me, and I was telling you also, like, I feel like I shouldn't even open my mouth or complain, because like what I'm feel like my feelings, like I can't process what's happening, right? But at the same time, I'm complaining about this, but I'm like, I have nothing to complain about. I came in here and I dragged myself in here because I need to do my part and bring awareness and talk about it and keep it in the news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what's funny that you say that, right? That you like can't process and it's hard and I remember what I was saying earlier.
And
is
I
that
feel guilty even saying that.
People get separated into like a few, well, and for me into like two camps, right? Some people like lean into their faith and some people really lean away from their faith. And it makes me sad a little bit when people lean away from their faith, because when I watch the media content coming out of Gaza, you know, over the last few years, you know what it's made me realize? These people have more faith than any other in God and in God's plan than any other people that I've met or that I've seen or that I've witnessed. Because with all of the hardships that they're enduring, with everything that's happening, there's always a sense of joy. There's happiness. There's light. There is they have this like, and it's this unbreakable, and you know that's why this has been so hard the last few years, because it's this unbreakable will to exist and resist, and that is all rooted in what? Your faith, your iman, your iman in that Allah, that God has a greater plan.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you know how I was telling you, like I felt like I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to do it. I don't want to do anything because like I said, again, we have to keep bringing this up. Our podcast wasn't supposed to be serious, right?
But it's okay to talk about.
At the same time, this is something that is it's a big part of who I am, who we are.
Yeah.
It's not just me. I know you feel just as strongly about it, but I dragged myself in here today, and because one thing is that I look at the people in Gaza and Palestine, but specifically in Gaza, and I'm like, I have no excuse to feel like, I don't want to say to feel down, because it is upsetting me and I am feeling down, but at the end of the day, this is nothing compared to what they're going through. Absolutely. Right? And so I need to get my shit together, and I need to get my emotions in check, and at least do the one thing that I know I can do, which is keep talking about it.
Absolutely.
Okay? And I know we don't have like millions of followers or millions of views on our YouTube podcast. You know,
one is more than enough.
Exactly. But if I can get across to one person, if I can have one person at least, hey, change their view or do their part.
I don't even, you know what it is, honestly, I don't even want, it's not about changing someone's view. What I want is for people to listen, even if you just listen, even if you approach this with an open mind and say, why is this happening? Just ask yourself, why is this happening? Then I feel like I've at least done something right. And it's not about just, it's like I said, it's not talking in numbers or this many people have died or this many people are starving. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I want people to come and say, like, just why is this happening? Yeah. All of this is
why is my government funding this?
Yeah, well, this is designed and planned. Like, this doesn't need to take place. None of this needs to happen. And you have to ask yourself, exactly, why is this happening? Why?
And why are we funding it?
And so if this makes one person ask that question, great. Yeah. Then we've at least done something.
Also, I think like, we talked about the limitations of what people can do. Yeah. Right. So I think the stuff that we can't do, like, for example, look, I'm constantly calling my congressmen and senators, and some people shit on me for like, oh, what's that going to do? I'm like, no, at least, I'm doing what I can do. Right?
If I voted for you, you're going to listen to me.
I'm emailing them constantly. Like, I probably email them like 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah. And they respond whatever with the automated bullshit. But I'm like, you know what? If that's one thing I can do, it takes me 2 minutes, right? Yeah. I'll call, I'll email, I'll try to donate to organizations, and we're going to put links about that. Like different places you guys can donate.
You know what I was, since it's interesting, speaking of organizations, I think one that I haven't donated to before that I'm gonna start looking into is Medicine Sans Frontières, which is Doctors Without Borders, because those guys are honestly like phenomenal.
Yeah, and I posted on our Instagram. I don't know if you saw the stories. Yep. There's a whole like slide where like if you want to help, this is how you can help. Yeah, you can donate, you can call, you can, and I get it. Not every society is free to go out and protest and feel safe doing that. But like there are things you can do. Okay, there are things you can do, and it doesn't necessarily have to be money either.
No, but I'm gonna tell you something. Like, and this is what I was saying earlier. Is like, I don't have expectations at all. What I would just like is for everybody, if whatever is within your power to do it. Because at the end of the day, we are 7 billion people on Earth. Yeah. 7 billion people. And like what? We're controlled by like 1% of the population?
I know.
right?
Yeah, but Anna, for me, like also like this whole, like people need to stop listening to the propaganda. Like this whole GHF bullshit. People are getting killed. It's a death trap. Okay, they need to like airdrops. Airdrops, that's another thing that pisses me off. Like these Arab governments use these airdrops as an excuse to say, oh, we're no. There's nothing good about airdrops.
It's humiliating.
It's not just it's dangerous.
It is.
It doesn't, you know, factor in the number of people that, like, it's just not enough.
It's like,
you need
think about, like,
UNRWA said you need 600 trucks daily.
I know.
Okay, these airdrops don't fall for that propaganda.
It's like a drop in the ocean.
Okay,
Think of a drop of water fell into the ocean.
It's a PR campaign for these Arab countries to tell their people, hey, listen, we're doing something. And it doesn't do anything. It causes chaos. Okay, it's humiliating. Okay, and it just doesn't do it. And then the Gaza Humanitarian Front, bullshit. It's a death trap. And I'm sure you've seen the videos of the American soldier talking about like how horrible this whole setup is. Okay, the only way to help the people.
He was
of
talking
Gaza,
to Chris Van Hollen about it.
Yeah.
Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Who's been amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
He's the Maryland senator, I think. Yeah. But now I lost my train of thought. But I'm saying is, like, there are ways. The only way is to end the blockade on Gaza. Let the trucks roll in. And they're sitting there. I
know.
You know, like, there's no other way. Like, put pressure. Do your part. Do your part as much as you can. Call your senators. Call your congressmen or women, whatever. Your representatives. Like, just... I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I'm really like upset and frustrated.
No, it's just be a decent human being.
Yes.
Try to be a decent human being.
And don't fall for the propaganda. Okay, just do some research.
But I don't want to tell you something, Lina. I have to kind of like disagree with you. I don't think people are falling for the
propaganda.
No,
I think it's been a turning point. I think people have finally realized, hey, listen, what's happening? This doesn't make sense. And I see that. I see that on my social media feeds, and I appreciate that. You know, I think the tide is turning.
Absolutely.
Okay, but we have to continue. We can't just.
I think for the first time in history, look, as I am somebody who really like weirdly and loves to consume all kinds of information in all kinds of different forms. I think for the first time in a long time, in talking to people who have, let's just say, different views than I do, this is the first time that I feel like people actually see through this propaganda, like ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. And it's weird because there are people obviously who are like completely blind to, you know, reality, but that's a choice. That's not because you don't have information. That is a choice. You choosing to be blind to reality. But I think the other people who may not have had or may have been consumed by this propaganda are now at a point where they're like, no, this is crap. Like, I'm not falling for this anymore. And I'm like, I like to also look sometimes at like small positive silver linings, because otherwise it's terrible. And so for me, I'm like, I feel like that's one step in the right direction. Like one silver lining is that the tide really has changed in the last 2 years.
I see that. I see that on my social media
and honestly, for me, what matters more than anything, more than public opinion has changed. Mm-hmm. People have changed. When you look at it's kind of interesting when you are on political extremes with people, but you can agree on this one thing.
Yeah, like Marjorie Greene Taylor, whatever the hell.
Marjorie Taylor.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah. Okay. And,
I mean, but that's
freaking Tucker Carlson.
But it's not.
Candace Owens. I mean, like, but you know what? A clock is even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? I don't know. But like, it's crazy. Do you see what they're posting? I'm like, how is this? Like, how am I agreeing with this person?
I know. At the same time, though, the other part of me is like, whatever. This is like an opportunity to like monetize and capitalize and grow your name. And so I don't
think it's that. I think people like, I don't want to get into the politics. Are you crazy? What do you mean?
You don't think they're gonna like this?
The politicians?
No, you were talking about like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, dude, there's no like, I totally agree with you. Yeah. But I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. The other part of me is like, no, they're just
no, because like also for them, this is about, you know, like these people, like I don't want to get into the politics like of American politics. I just don't want to get involved in that. But like,
why? It's so fun. I'm kidding.
No, I'm just saying like for them, I mean, a big part of MAGA is basically saying,
ooh, did you hear that?
Yeah, is basically saying America first. And if we're giving billions of dollars to Israel, okay, at the end of the day, to do what? To kill and to starve Palestinians.
Yeah.
Okay, and to ethnically cleanse them. Okay, and to push them into the sea. Okay, that's pretty much what's happening.
No, so I don't even want them to go to the sea.
You know, they're not even allowed
Yes.
to swim,
That's what I
bathe,
mean.
eat, or fish. I mean, I
Yeah.
just, it's crazy.
It is nuts. That's what I was saying. I was like, no, they're not even allowed to go
But
to
like,
the sea.
I never imagined that I would be agreeing with these like far right people. I mean, I just this one topic, and I don't know what their intentions are. I don't know if it's genuine or if they actually give a shit. I don't know.
At this point,
But
I think their intention is to make money and to grow their brand and to grow their name. I think, you know, they are.
I don't think it's just that though. Hanan.
But I
I think maybe that is a part of it.
Okay, absolutely.
But I don't think it's the entire thing. I think people in this country, and regardless of whether you're Republican or Democrat, wherever you fall on the political spectrum, I think people in this country are done.
Oh, yeah.
I think, and we see that.
Yeah,
and
for
some
sure.
people don't see that, but we see that. Like we just said, the tide is turning, and I regardless of which side you're on, okay, people are tired of it.
Yeah.
People are tired of giving billions of dollars to this rogue regime, okay, this murderous regime, and they're tired of it. And for what? Why can't those billions of dollars be used in this country?
That's my biggest thing,
Okay,
by the way.
and these far right people, like I don't want to say far right, like Republicans, and some of them are neo Nazis. Okay, I get it, but like a lot of these people, whether you fall on the left or on the right or in the middle, a lot of people like, why can't you guys give me this money?
Why
as
can't
a
I
US
have free
citizen?
healthcare?
Thank you. Like the only reason I'm in my job is because I need the healthcare.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. And you know, like that's what I'm saying. You can eradicate poverty. You can eradicate hunger. You can eradicate so many things in this country if we stop funding this bullshit.
And I think that's the part, like that part is exactly what people have a problem with now.
Yeah. I think anyway, like just, I don't want to keep going on and on. We wanted to catch up and also talk about the starvation of Gaza, and please, we will put links in the description. We'll tell you how you can help. It's not just donations. We'll also include ways you can help. You know, just call your representatives
and just like reshare stories on your social media and keep talking about it and keep amplifying it, because at this point, I think you get to a stage where people might be tired or exhausted or overwhelmed by information or any of that stuff, but just keep sharing, keep talking. And it's not about being on the right or wrong side of history. And I don't even care about that anymore. It's about just being a human being.
Yeah.
We're all on this earth together, right? And this is just what's happening is wrong and unnecessary. It doesn't need to happen. And the fact that we are also paying for this to happen is the other part that's just, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So please amplify information.
Keep talking.
Please
about
share.
it, yes.
Please reach out to your political representatives, because if you voted for them, they better hear you. That's like why you give them your vote to begin with. And just like go out there and like share the truth. And if that's what you can do, then you are righteous in my book.
Yes. We all have to do our part.
Exactly.
And
See you
thank
guys
so
next time.
much, inshallah.